Zlatan Ibrahimovic is easily one of the scariest footballers of all time. A 6'5", 210-pound monster who, in addition to scoring the craziest goals in football, also beat the crap out of opponents. Man, even his teammates got the wrong end of the stick sometimes. However, some players dared to fight Zlatan. How did that turn out for them? Let's find out. In a feisty clash between PSG and Lille in December 2013, Mavuba was walking backward when he inadvertently bumped into Zlatan. Zlatan reacted by shoving Mavuba off in true Zlatan fashion. Despite being shorter than Zlatan by almost 10 inches, Mavuba threw caution to the wind and wasn't willing to back down. He squared up with Zlatan and pushed the Swede hard, sending him crashing. Fortunately for both players, the rest of their teammates quickly rushed over to de-escalate the situation because who knows what would have happened next. I'm pretty sure Mavuba earned the respect of everyone that day because, unlike most players who would have backed away in fear, Mavuba stood up to Zlatan and wasn't just gonna bend over backward and accept the disrespect. But it wasn't the same case for this next player. You see, when Zlatan isn't making his mark on the pitch by scoring goals, he resorts to leaving his mark on the opponent. While at Manchester United, Zlatan saw his team lose to Fenerbahce 2-1 in the Europa League in November 2016. During the match, Ibrahimovic, who had been out of form for United, grabbed Simon Kjaer by the throat and shouted right in his ear in an angry confrontation with the Dane near the touchline as the Dane tried to talk to him. It was wild because Ibrahimovic only entered the field as a first-half substitute for Pogba, who limped off the pitch, and that was the last thing his teammates needed from him. The confrontation was quickly broken up by UEFA's fourth official and United manager Jose Mourinho, who pacified both players during the incident. After the foul was awarded, Zlatan continued to argue that Kjaer, who had been marking him closely, had also been provoking him. The referee, Milorad Mazic, did not take any action as he probably missed the action, but the fourth official who saw the action determined that no sanction was necessary. So Zlatan escaped punishment. When asked what Zlatan said during the confrontation, Kjaer said, "I actually didn't hear what he said, but I do know he wasn't happy." Unlike many other players who would have been scared to have a face-off with Zlatan, Kjaer seemed pretty cool about the incident and for that reason earns a well-deserved spot on our list. Kjaer said it was part of football and didn't take it seriously because he already knew how Zlatan reacted. Both players later became teammates at AC Milan and even became buddies from one team to another. After Zlatan returned to AC Milan, he was back at it again when he clashed with his former teammate Romelu Lukaku, who was playing for Inter Milan. We all know that Milan derbies always come with many fireworks, but no one saw what was coming when both teams face each other in the Coppa Italia derby in 2021. Zlatan opened the scoring early on in the game, and things seemed to be going smoothly. Well, until Lukaku got knocked down by an AC Milan defender. Pissed off, Lukaku immediately confronted the player with a chest bump. But here's where things get interesting. With everyone gathering around the players, Zlatan and Lukaku started insulting each other. Ibra called Lukaku a piece of shit. Lukaku also calls Zlatan a little shit. But after Zlatan told Lukaku to go and do his voodoo stuff, and then involved his mother, the Belgian lost it and was ready to enter the boxing ring with Ibra as he continued to hurl more insults and bump heads with the Swede. Lukaku got the last laugh by scoring 2 goals for Inter Milan as they won the game, but fans continue fantasizing about who would come out on top if Lukaku fights with Zlatan. A tough one to call. After the match, both players got one-match bans and were fined for unsportsmanlike conduct. But let's go back in time to 2005. While Ibrahimovic was at Juventus, he was injured by a scissor tackle from Materazzi, who was at Inter Milan at the time. Ibrahimovic swore that he was going to get his revenge. He got it in 2010 during his first spell at Milan. With Materazzi still at Inter, both players faced each other again and were locked in a 50-50 contest for the ball. Zlatan leaped into Materazzi and cracked him hard across the temple with his elbow. The Swede put enough distance on it to make it look like a routine clash. Unfortunately for Materazzi, or should we say, fortunately, he was taken to the hospital this time. The challenge from Zlatan was like a combo kung fu kick and flying elbow in what could be described as a taekwondo move at the time. And for all that, Ibrahimovic escaped yet again with only a yellow card. After the match, Zlatan denied that his actions were intentional, but years later he revealed that he had been looking to get his revenge on Materazzi and had waited 4 years for that moment. Here's what he said in his autobiography. "This is how things work in my world. You never forget, and you wait patiently for the right time to take revenge. I told myself over and over, when I get my hands on him, I'll hurt him badly. So badly that he'll remember what he did to me, and I'll take my revenge in the light of day, making my motives and intentions clear to everyone. Come on, man, that's just dark. Around the same time when Ibra joined AC Milan in 2010, he immediately took a swipe at one of his new teammates, Oguchi Onyewu, saying that the defender was built like a heavyweight boxer. One day in training, things got heated up, and while we aren't exactly sure of what went down in the build-up to their fight, the word on the street is that a tackle from Zlatan triggered Onyewu, and a fight broke out. Zlatan said in his autobiography that Onyewu first shushed him with his finger, so when Onyewu got the ball later, he lunged in with a malicious tackle as payback for the shushing. Onyewu escaped the tackle, but Zlatan had already crossed the line. Onyewu punched Zlatan in the back, and Zlatan retaliated with a headbutt, and they both started fighting. Gattuso, who was also their teammate at the time, said that he tried to separate them but got a slap from each of them, and for 25 minutes they were at it because no one wanted to risk trying to break them up. The training ended immediately after both players managed to be separated, but then Zlatan began to feel a lot of pain in his chest and torso. After the medical experts checked on him, they realized that he had multiple broken ribs, about 3 of them. Regarding his experience fighting Onyewu, Zlatan said that nobody won the fight because Onyewu was very strong and there was no clear winner.
We were training, to make a long story short, situation shows up. We started to fight, me and the guy, and he was huge. He was good. Because I feel big normally against football player, but this guy was big.
However, Onyewu argues that some things in Zlatan's autobiography about the fight are untrue, but he doesn't say exactly what they are.
If you read his autobiography or biography, I haven't read it. I've heard people tell me what's in it. Some of it's true, some of it's definitely not true.
Fans have argued that for Zlatan to say there was no clear winner means one thing: Onyewu might have won the fight. The defender ended up leaving the club a year later though. Throughout his career in Europe, Zlatan was known for his aggression, and he carried it over to the United States when he joined the MLS. Playing for LA Galaxy in a game against Real Salt Lake, Zlatan dragged one of the defenders, Nedu Manua, down by the neck and slammed him onto the ground in an off-the-ball incident. As you would expect, Ibrahimovic received a card for his offense, but that didn't stop him. Not long after, Ibrahimovic threatened Onua verbally, saying that he would break his legs. Still, the defender didn't back down as he exchanged words with Zlatan. Zlatan later hit Onua on the head in another challenge, and after scoring the winning goal in the 78th minute for LA Galaxy, the Swedes celebrated on Onua's face. According to the RLS defender, Zlatan acted like a complete thug and continued to threaten him for the remainder of the match. After the game, Ibrahimovic tried apologizing to the former City defender, but Onua had none of it. Onua also suggested that Zlatan got preferential treatment in the MLS because of his star power. Despite beating the crap out of many players that dared to fight him, Zlatan did meet his match early in his career. If you call Zlatan crazy, I wonder what you might call prime Gennaro Gattuso. In an exchange in the early 2000s, Gattuso smacked Zlatan Ibrahimovic in the face while he was at Ajax. But many years later, his ex-teammates revealed that when Gattuso and Zlatan fought again, this time as teammates, Gattuso ended up in a bin. Just how scary was Zlatan Ibrahimovic?